This test, we can simply rearrange the atoms you are made of and put them back together. Good. In case you were curious, no, we cannot make infinite clones of you because of the stupid rules of quantum mechanics. Only once you die can we take your atoms and recreate your body for continued perpetual testing. These lasers should provide a fun change of pace. Please be aware that some test elements may only be functional in one timeline. Great! By now, you might be wondering how it is possible to hear these automated messages, regardless of which timeline you're in. We implanted a small device directly into your brain. That way, you can hear these messages as if they were the voice of your own conscience. Well, they practically are, considering how much of your cerebral cortex we had to remove to make this work. Things are about to get a little more complicated in the next chamber. But don't lose hope. Think about this. As long as you don't see your own corpse lying in the future, it is safe to assume that you solved the chamber sometime during the last 20 years. You solved it. And you were pretty quick about it, too. Great work. We tried many times to open a passage to the future, but this connection, exactly 20 years from now, is the only one stable enough to last longer than a few microseconds. Good. The second half of this testing course is located below you. Unfortunately, no elevator can take you there, so you will have to take the stairs. That works too. You might have noticed that something is not quite right here. Remember when we told you that the decay of the facility was completely intentional? Turns out, that was a lie. There is a bigger picture here. Your test might be the most important one ever conducted. For now, let's just try to get back on track and keep going. Well done. Since the catwalk to the next chamber appears to be non-existent, you can rely on the power of aerial faith plates to get you there. This next chamber should really test your observation skills. Take a good look around first, and then decide what to do, and in which order. Outstanding! You are the first test subject to ever make it to this point. In fact, you are the first test subject to ever survive a trip to the future at all. These light bridges are great for traversing over deadly ground. As with the lasers, you will often only have one of these at your disposal, so use them wisely. Good thinking. With all this talk about time travel, do you ever question the meaning of it all? Do your actions have any consequences? Or are we all just following the deterministic path of the universe? Here's a fun experiment. Listen carefully. The next thing you will do is jump in 3, 2, 1. It appears that the universe is strictly deterministic, and everything you do is already predetermined. You are a very smart test subject. If the universe really was deterministic, we would have already known the outcome of this test, which might make this compliment seem unnecessary. If you feel that you have been receiving too many compliments, feel free to ignore the previous statements. Good news! We found a way to make these turrets more durable. They should now also work in the future. Most of them, anyway. Should you find a defective turret in the future, feel free to mark this as a flaw in your test report.
Is anyone there?
Nicely done. And don't worry, you won't encounter any turrets between the test chambers. Except for these ones. At this point, you might rightfully be asking yourself why we put you through all this. This testing track was built as a failsafe. My job is to ensure that testing can continue, no matter the circumstance. You see, this facility is largely controlled by one entity. For some reason, this entity seems completely unresponsive
20
years from now. That's why the future looks the way it does. We have lost all control, and we need to find a way to restore it. Well done. You have proven yourself to be quite capable. Keep going, and you might actually fulfill your true purpose in all this.